Hello, thanks for stopping by again. So today we've got a fairly special edition of the blog. August the 1st is Yorkshire Day, and so what we've got today are a couple of special Yorkshire ales, one brewed specifically to commemorate Yorkshire Day, and the other a very special ale that's been released around Yorkshire Day. What we've got first of all is a Yorkshire Day ale from the Old Bear Brewery in Keighley. Now you might remember them from being the people who did the Duke of Bronte Capstan Full Strength beer, which is a beer we reviewed earlier this year, a very pale, strong beer. Now the whole notion of Yorkshire Ale is something that has been explored locally by Yorkshire beer legend Barry Pepper. He held a kind of a seminar, a symposium, exploring Yorkshire beers, trying to find out if there's a typical Yorkshire style, and perhaps unsurprisingly what he found out was that there isn't really a classically Yorkshire style of beer, but my god, there are some great breweries and some great beers in Yorkshire. So let's kick off with the Yorkshire Day Ale from the Old Bear Brewery. Now we've got it in goodness knows what's going to happen when I pop this, but let's just see. Okay, quite nice. It's got a very slight haze on it still. It's just a tad cold, but that's probably going to disappear as I pour it. And there's quite a bit of loose yeast in here. Obviously bottling in clear glass always a little bit risky, that your beer might get skunked if you leave it out in the light, but this has been properly stored, so that's going to be okay. Lovely kind of pale golden colour, very slight haze on it. It's nice. There's a nice kind of, what I would call the classic sort of Yorkshire hop nose. It's that really kind of bright, clean nose that you get on beers like Taylor's Landlord, for example. And but there's also a very slight kind of lactic sourness in with this one. That's really interesting. It's the Old Bear Duke of Capstan, the really strong one they did, had a real kind of herbal tobacco leaf quality to it, and this has also got a very kind of slight smokiness. It's good. The sourness that is kind of on the nose, I don't know what that is. It may just be something that will blow off in time, but it doesn't come through on the palate at all. And actually this is a really well made. That's really very nice, I have to say. It's kind of got that lovely classic bitterness. There's a little malty sweetness and a lovely kind of smoky note that comes through. I think that's maybe their house style. The smokiness is something that kind of comes through in a lot of their beers, and although I'm not wild about smoked beer, it's done very nicely, so it just adds a little bit of complexity here. So we've got 2 thumbs up there so far. Now the next beer, Sam Smith's, the legendary Tadcaster Brewery, have released a bottle conditioned ale. It wasn't done specifically for Yorkshire Day, it's just something they've been working on for a while, and it happened to be released around now. So Yorkshire Stingo being the kind of traditional term for a very strong beer, or almost a barley wine. Now what they do with this beer, they mature it for a period of time in a wooden ale cask. So Sam Smith's are one of the few breweries who still do beer in wooden casks. And then they condition it in the bottle. They reprime the beer in the bottle with a little more yeast, so it re-ferments, and they age it at the brewery for an indeterminate period of time. They won't say exactly how long, but it's aged for about a year. And this is the first time I've tried it, so I'm very excited to try it. It's a lovely kind of dark, rich colour. Now the ale casks, of course, are ones they've used many times, so they won't impart too much of an oak character or a wood character to the beer, but it's just going to kind of lend a little bit of complexity, maybe a little bit of tan in there as well. Lovely dark colour, lovely rich, pin bright beer. Fantastic. So what we've got there, we've got kind of dried fruits. It's a little bit of slight kind of funkiness, or there's just this thing that some strong English beers have, particularly bottled beers, I guess. As soon as they come out of the bottle, you get this kind of like slight funkiness. It's oh god, it's so lovely. Extraordinary. That's really something special. As soon as it hits your tongue, you get a big burst of sweetness. So you can tell from the dark colour, lots of lovely rich maltiness in there. It's fruit cakey. You can kind of see the wood influence a little bit. There's a little bit of kind of slight coconut woodiness. Some of the barrels that they used to age the beer in are over 100 years old. They're one of the few breweries to still employ a cooper full time, and the cooper is repairing the barrels all the time. So some of the barrels will have new staves in, and so that's maybe where the coconut influence is coming from, the new wood. That's lovely. You can tell it's an oak aged beer. It's got that lovely kind of, like we said, coconut woodiness, but it's not overdone. It's in a lovely balance with the maltiness of the fruit. Really something special, and it's 8% alcohol. There's absolutely no trace of that at all. There's no heat. It's perfectly in balance. It's really something special. Fabulous. So I've got a couple of beers to chug my way through now. I'm not going to be chugging my way through this. I'm going to sip it slowly and enjoy it. Thanks very much for stopping by. Signing off on Yorkshire Day. We'll see you again next time. Cheers.